Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. It's so greatly appreciated, truly is. Before we get started, let me give you my usual disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Please do not take what I say as fact. Please always do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Next, if you have not liked, subscribed, or commented yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it. Okay, so today we're talking Chad Ensel. Chad Ensel was born on March 31st, 1977 in the small town of Halliday, North Dakota. He coached Little League and he had a passion for the youth that he worked with. He married his wife, Nikki Hines, on May 21st, 2016 and helped raise her two boys, Marcus and Christopher. The two had a very short courtship, just 1 year before tying the knot. Chad worked at a place called Interstate Power Systems, and Nikki worked as a transportation clerk for U.S. Foods. She also had a small business that she advertised on Facebook. Nikki Savory Seats. Not sweets, seats. If you want to be taken seriously in the small business field, you should probably make sure that you are spelling the name of your company correctly. That is just my PSA for the day. Chad spent the last 20 years living in Bismarck, North Dakota, where he loved playing golf, shooting darts, and being part of his bowling league. December 29th, 2019, Nikki Ensel went to stay at a hotel near her home that she was renting in Bismarck with her husband, Chad. So the kids were with their dad. Chad was at the house and Nikki was at a hotel. But the hotel wasn't under Nikki's name. The hotel was registered to a man named Earl Howard. December 30th, 2019, Chad Ensel was bowling with his league. Camera footage from the house would show Nikki and an unknown male, who would later be identified as Nikki's lover, Earl Howard, removing items that belonged to Nikki from the home. They arrived at the home at about 7 p.m. and then they left the home at about 8:30 p.m. After this, the camera would also be set to privacy from Nikki's account, which basically means that it will stop recording. December 31st, 2019, Nikki calls Chad Ensel's job to let them know that he won't be coming to work that day. Then it's the new year. January 2nd, 2020, Nikki goes to work. She receives calls from Chad's concerned coworkers because he was a no-show, no-call, and Chad didn't do stuff like that. So Nikki responds by telling them that she's really busy at work, but when she gets off, she would take a look. Really? I'm not really sure what you could be doing at work that's more important than making sure your husband's alive and well. Unless you know that he's not. So the coworkers send officers to the house to do a welfare check. Okay, so looking through the windows, everything looks fine. Chad's truck is in the driveway. Nothing looks out of place, so they have no reason to enter. They knock, nobody answers. They don't have a reason to enter the home, so they have to leave. After Nikki gets off of work at approximately 5:20 p.m., she drives to the home and she makes this 911 call.
4900 Northeast.
Repeat that address for verification.
4900 43rd Avenue Northeast.
Okay, and is that a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Can I get your name, please?
Nikki Ensel.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Nikki Ensel.
How do you spell your last name, please, Nikki?
E-N-C-E-L.
Spell your first name, please.
The 1319.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I came out here to check. My husband just sent a text message that he didn't come in today, and I've been good 3 days, and so I'm coming here to check. And I walked in, I opened the garage door, and I walked in, and the house is smoky. I can't get in the door. It's smoky in the house.
Okay, so you see smoke? Or
I can see inside the,
okay.
and like our Washington's black, and it's just smoky in there, and I can't get in the door.
Okay, do you see any flames at all?
I don't.
Okay, and you were coming here to check on who again? I'm sorry?
Check on my husband. I've been out for a few days.
Okay.
And his work called and said he didn't come in at all. And I tried calling him,
Okay.
no answers. They tried calling him, no answer. So I said, I was just swamped. I couldn't get away at work today, and I'm coming out now because I'm off work, and he can't get in the door, and when I look, everything's black. So
Okay.
I died. So I want to go in and check.
Slow, okay. Nikki, calm down for me, okay? Nikki, I need you to calm down for me, okay? Nikki, what's your husband's name? Nikki, what's your husband's name?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, one moment. That looks like we had a call earlier at this location. Okay. Okay, I need you to wait outside, Nikki. Did you arrive in a vehicle?
I'm in my car.
What kind of vehicle are you in, Nikki?
I'm standing on a blue one.
Are you there alone right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you parked in a safe spot?
No, I'm right in. I almost think I'm in the driveway. I'm driving now. I'm in the driving.
Okay, Nikki, stay on the line. I'm going to be dispatching out help. I'm going to put you on hold, but don't hang up, okay?
Yeah, I'm driving now. I'm driving.
What's that, Nikki?
I'm inside.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. What's going on?
I just want to go inside.
Okay, go. But for everyone's safety, until you meet with deputies, I want you to wait in your vehicle for your own safety. Okay? Can you go to your vehicle?
Yeah, I'm in my car.
Fire and EMTs arrive. They put out not one but two fires. One in the master bedroom that seemed to have been started from a propane heater that was too close to the mattress, and another fire in the basement of the home on top of the furnace. Two fires in the same home at the same time in different rooms for different reasons. What are the chances? After the fire was put out, which wasn't even really a fire anyway, the naked body of Chad is discovered. There was a shotgun on the bed, 2 empty bottles of whiskey, and a spent shell casing. So at first glance, this looks like an unaliving. That is until officers look a little closer. For starters, the placement of the shotgun was too far away from the body to have been self-inflicted. Okay? Not only that, but Chad also had 2 fatal wounds to his body. But there was only one shell casing. Of course there was only one shell casing because you can only fatally shoot yourself once. The person or persons responsible for this were smart enough to take the one shell casing. But they did not take into account the little thing that us in the true crime community like to call an autopsy. That would be where medical examiners found 2 fatal shots on Chad's body. Nikki was very cooperative with officers following the start of the investigation. She handed over her phone to the police. She only requested that they give her a phone to use in the meantime. So officers agree, and that's when they come across a box addressed to the name Earl Howard. Who is this? Police have never heard this name before, and why didn't Nikki mention him? Well, we already know who he is, but That's the first time they come across the name. We know that Earl is Nikki's lover, and the two had plans to move to Texas. They were looking at homes in Texas, and Nikki even had job interviews set up in Texas.
That Insel came to the store on New Year's Day to request copies of receipts from prior purchases, while Praxair employees testified Howard purchased a torch kit from them. Despite telling investigators that Howard was only a friend, video surveillance captured in the days before and around the time of Chad's murder show Insel and a man appearing to be Howard embracing and walking hand in hand.
Oh, I did forget to mention that Earl is Canadian, so he's actually originally from Ontario, Canada. So the two had plans to go to Texas. The only problem is that they need Chad's $600,000 life insurance policy that Nikki is the sole beneficiary of. And they couldn't get that money if Chad was still alive. December 27th, 2019, Nikki took out a $26,000 renter's insurance policy. Okay, so the last time Chad was seen alive was on December 30th, 2019, at around 10:19 p.m. while he was bowling. This was when Nikki and Earl were taking all her stuff out of the house and bringing it to the hotel.
Came up one morning when breakfast was going on and had asked me about video cameras and if we had them throughout the hotel.
What did she ask about them?
She had asked, or the reasoning she had asked if we had them was because she had lost a piece of jewelry and she wanted to know if we could possibly look at the video cameras to see if she had misplaced it within the hotel. And I mentioned to her that we only have video cameras on the main floors and we did not have them up on second, third, and fourth.
December 31st, 2019. Even though the cameras were set to private, the door recorded every time it was opened. That door was opened by Nikki at 1 a.m. and opened again at 3 a.m. And it's believed that this is the time that Chad was killed.
All right, so we can tell me about then what you did when you showed up around 10 after 1 in the morning, you and Earl.
Where?
At your house. Did I forget to tell you that when you tried logging off of the camera system, it didn't actually log you off and put you in that privacy mode and kept recording? Yeah, it did.
No.
So, yeah. So help me explain this. That's what I'm here to do, explain.
I went out.
You went out where?
When I was in the house, I wanted to get my meds.
Mm-hmm. But you said that you keep your meds in your purse.
I know, but I needed more meds.
Okay.
I had a patch.
Uh-huh. Okay, so tell me what happened when you guys were out there. Because it was you and Earl. It's on video.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't find it. I had my extra patches in there.
Patches? Just medication
Yeah.
patches?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't find my patches, so then it's called that stand when you first come in where there's the crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left. I said, I can't find it, man.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm not going to dig around.
So what happened when you guys were in the house? Because Chad was there at that point.
Chad was up drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find him and said hi and how much anything. She was drinking. She left us up and left.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the only problem with that, Nikki. is you guys were there for an hour and 40 minutes.
No, I couldn't find my patches.
You didn't look for your patches for an hour and 40 minutes while Chad sat there drinking. Look at me, Nikki. You did not look for your patches or your medicine for an hour and 40 minutes while Chad sat there drinking. Did you?
I couldn't find my patches.
I understand that. I believe that.
Dinking around in the kitchen and
Doing what?
I put a little dishes in the dishwasher
Okay.
and I hit go.
Mm-hmm. And what was Earl doing during that time?
Talking to Chad and he asked if you're ready and I said, I'm ready.
And where was Chad at?
In the living room.
Okay. And Chad just sat there drinking and him and Earl just sat there and talked while you looked for your meds?
Not so
Right.
much of anything.
Okay. And what did you guys do for an hour and 40 minutes? Because you didn't look for your meds and it didn't take you an hour and 40 minutes to empty your dishwasher, load your dishwasher, and push go.
I was in the garage. I looked for my meds, couldn't find them. I dinked around with some stuff in the garage, went in the house, and he was up drinking
Mm-hmm.
whatever, small talk.
Did what?
No.
Oh, okay.
Loaded the dishwasher. I went to the pantry, figured out for some stuff in the pantry. Looked in, and we left. I can't find my meds.
Was Chad mad when you left? Why was Chad mad?
Because I didn't want to stay home.
Mm-hmm. And you were going to stay in a hotel with Earl, right?
Because I wasn't there.
Well, no, I'm not saying that anything with that, but I can about imagine if Chad was sitting there drinking, you show up at home with Earl, and then you're going to hang out there for an hour and 40 minutes and then go and leave and go back to a hotel room with Earl, that Chad's probably quite pissed, right? So what happened when you guys were there? Something happened. Yes.
Because I said I didn't want to stay because the furnace didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so we argued.
Mm-hmm.
And then we left.
What else happened there?
That was it. I went up to the car and we got
Right.
in. And the ding with the garage opener because the garage opener is not open, and then we left.
Did you maybe go out to the vehicle and Earl stayed inside for a little while?
I went to the vehicle to start ding with the garage opener, and then he put his boots on and we came out and we left.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
Went to the hotel.
And then what?
And got up and I went to work.
And it took you 2 hours to pick up the pill. January 3rd, 2020, Nikki calls Chad's work to see what benefits are available to her now that she's a widow. She also called Allstate that day to cash in her $26,000 renter insurance policy. January 7th, 2020, Nikki calls for her $600,000 life insurance policy now that Chad is dead. So she's just cashing in all over the place, or at least she thought she was.
Things that the naked eye doesn't see.
Right.
We have a lot of new technology that we can do a lot of stuff with, and I pulled no stops on this one, because you asked me why, and I wanted to find out for you. So we can do all that, and like I said, we can track all those cell phones. So we can go back, we can look at camera footage from the area of vehicles coming and going. I'm going to say that Chad's death was not an accident.
What? Mm-hmm.
Based off of all the information that I've gathered, Chad's death was not an accident.
I don't understand.
Well, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about, and I wanted you to hear it from me, going into this. like I said, we have pulled so many resources in on this, and we have used so much technology on this. We know how this happened. And Nikki, I think you know how too.
I don't. That's why I asked you. I don't know nothing.
Chad did not die in the fire. Okay?
Okay.
Chad was killed by a gunshot.
What?
Yep, he was killed by a firearm.
What?
Yeah. We did an autopsy on Chad, and there was no soot in his lungs or in his throat. And that tells us that Chad was dead before the fire started. Okay? There was also a gunshot wound to Chad. Or there was gunshot wound to Chad. And that happened before the fire.
5 days after Chad's death, Nikki is questioned by police. She tells police that Chad was an alcoholic that would get drunk and abuse her. There's no proof of this whatsoever. So, therefore, I'm not going to say that that's true and trash his name because there's no proof of it. She said story after story, and officers were not buying what she was selling. She even agreed to a handwritten confession, then tried to rip it up in the interrogation room in front of the officer.
You don't have to be like that.
While Nikki was being questioned, Earl decided to get the hell out of Dodge and go back to his native Canada. So the hunt was on for him, and luckily police would find him on January 9th in Port Huron, Michigan, which is right by the border. So the two were originally going to be tried together, but Earl decided to take a plea deal for 25 years and plead guilty to conspiracy to commit arson, conspiracy to tamper with physical evidence, and conspiracy to commit murder. Nikki decided to take her chances with a trial, probably because she's a narcissist and she thinks she's smarter than everybody else. But she sadly realized that she's not. And on October 4th, 2022, after just 2 hours of deliberation, Nikki was found guilty on all counts. All right, guys, if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't yet. Until next time, stay safe out there.